So one of the biggest announcements at Sony's E3 press conference was the remake of Final Fantasy VII. This game came out in 1997, so a lot of people have been wanting it for a very long time. So the director was giving an interview, Tetsuya Nomura, and in this interview he was talking about how the development of the game got started. And there was one little bit of information that has certainly raised a few eyebrows. According to him, they were doing pre-production of the game, so they were getting together, talking about ideas, tossing out different items, and the original director of Final Fantasy VII kept on asking Nomura how individual elements should be adjusted in fine detail. And so Nomura comes back and he says, this was all kind of perplexing to him because, he thought, well, this guy, since he directed the last Final Fantasy VII, he's going to be directing this one, so why is he asking me about all these little details? And it wasn't until Nomura was checking an internal presentation video that he noticed during the credit roll that his name was listed down as the director of it. So nobody called him and asked him if he wanted the job. Nobody bothered to tell him that, he had been assigned to it. He just happens to be watching a presentation video, and he's one of the few people that I know of who actually watches the credits, but he noticed that his name was listed as the guy in charge of the project. So he called up some of the executives and told them, hey, I've just watched this video and it states that I'm the director for some reason. And the reply he got was, well, of course it does. So this came as a shock to him because he's currently busy with another project called Kingdom Hearts 3, which a lot of people have been waiting on, and that game still doesn't have a release date. So this guy's pretty busy. He's working on one big project, Kingdom Hearts 3, and now he's got another huge project on his hand, and neither one of them have a release date. So as far as how the Final Fantasy VII, the remake, may differ from the original, you have a lot of people who want the same game with just updated graphics. But according to Nomura, he said there's already an HD port getting ready to come out to PS4. So for a remake, they mentioned wanting to change some things around. And during the interview with GameSpot, he even suggested that the story might deviate from the remake. So it might be more of a reimagining than necessarily a, quote-unquote remake. So this whole thing, it could not mean much of anything, or it could mean don't expect Final Fantasy VII, the remake, anytime soon, since the guy's already busy with one game and doesn't have a release date for it, and now he's been thrown onto another project. And do you think it's concerning that nobody bothered to ask him if he wanted the job or didn't bother to tell him that he had it? So if you want to read more about the story, links down in the description box. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.